Hello everybody, Alex here from Snake On Exotics, and today it's meant to be delivery day. It's nearly 1 o'clock, it hasn't turned up. It's meant to just be live food because I'm going to be doing a midweek one for the Thursday. But while we wait, I'm planning on getting into these tanks today. So we need to do water changes, we need to spruce them all up to make it all look nice and make the good for the fishies. That's going to be a big job for us to do today because it's a lot of water changes, a lot of topping up. Because once these run a little bit low, they struggle with the systems because the pipes are a little bit high. So I may lower them down so we don't have to have the tank full for it to work properly. As soon as it drops a little bit, the system stops working and it stops oxygenating the tanks. I'll explain it a bit more when I turn the lights on. But that's the job for today, so please like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell for me, and let's get these tanks running sweet. Whoa. Still no delivery, so we're going to start with this one. Let's turn some lights on so we can see what's going on. Okay, lights are on. Oh, they've had a party in here. And yeah, so what happens is when the water drops low, you can see there, there, the bubbles aren't in the water, so they're not getting any extra oxygen. So I've got to clean this tank. It gets a lot of algae for some reason. I think it's because this one has the UV light on down below for snappy, baby snaps. So we're going to clean it, get all the piping out, shorten the pipes down for us, and then should be ready to go. So we do it on this one, we crack on, we get it cleaned, do the siphoning, and then hopefully we do good. This is clean, let's start siphoning. And then we'll have to take some of this apart so I can cut the pipes down. Let's start siphoning. Okay. Boy, there's gonna be some nasties coming up this one. Yeah. Look at that. Almost solid. So it's all uneaten food and poo and stuff like that. These pair, because they don't eat that much, they tend to waste a lot of it. It tends to mess the substrate up quite a bit. So we'll give it a good suck all the way around. I'll do the other half in a sec as well. The less gravel there is, the less there's going to be in there. There is the filter plates underneath, which is going to store quite a lot of it as well. Get all these nasties. So these ones work off an under gravel filter. So what that means is the water goes through the gravel, through the plate at the bottom, and then back up the tube and out. And that's how everything gets filtered. Oh, it's quite an old-fashioned way of doing it nowadays, but it still works. It just takes a bit of fan dandling, and you can't miss your water changes because that's your filter clean at the same time. So I'll leave that half now. I'll jump on the other half and do that, and then I'll show you when we're topping up and cutting the pipes down. Look at the colour of the water that's coming out. So that's all uneaten food and poo. It's all been trapped in the gravel. So when people say they've got a clean tank, probably not, because a lot of it's all hidden away. All the nasties and stuff will go. I'm going to have twice as much because it's actually my filter. But that's still where a lot of the stuff, it's all heavy, it all wants to go down, it all wiggles its way through the gravel. And that's why gravel vacuum and stuff is very important, because that's where a lot of your muck goes. So this is what the uplift is. So that attaches to the tank at the bottom, I've got one. The under gravel tray. And then the water goes down through the gravel, through the tray, up this pipe, and we have a bubbler in here. So what that does, it forces the water out and makes an air gap. So the only way that the water can fill this air gap again, which it really wants to do, is to go this way, because the water's being pushed out that way. So it makes a cycle by just using bubbles. So this was on here, like that, so you can make yourself a nice longer pipe if you wanted to. But we want short. So we're going to be cutting this one down and then it's going to be sitting a lot lower in the tank and doing a bit better job. So, I've got a saw, let's see if we can do it. Cutting this can be really hard to do because it's very thin plastic and it's going to want to split, it's going to want to crack. So what I tend to do is I use the back of the teeth on the saw. So I'm not going forward because that's going to catch and try and break it. So we just use it gently. And because it's such thin plastic, it's going to do a good job for us. But only scrape backwards, which is using the not as sharp teeth. I'm right on the edge now, so I can just snap it off. Lovely. Let's see how it works. Put it on. So it's bubbling really well. It's a lot lower than what it was. But what I had to do was put the pipe I took off. I had to put it back on because it's slightly wider than the one it was inside, and I needed it to put the clasp back on. So they're basically the exact same size now. I just needed it a little tiny bit for that cap, so I had to put it back over it. But it's still the same height. I'm just going to do the same to this one now. Here you are. This is one I'm just done. So I've got to do that just a smidge. So I've got enough for the pop piece to pop into. We've got a nice short one. This one did come out to about here, and I've cut it right down. And then we just do a little bit, pull back, so we can stick that elbow on, so we get the flow coming out. Both are now in and bobbling along. Let's top it back up. Tap safe in. I do use the pond stuff, so it's very highly concentrated, so I have to put the tiniest amount in, even though I do so much water. Because this is 10 mil per 182 litres, so I've only took about maybe 50 to 100 out, if I was being, maybe 50. So that's why I've only done that little tiny dribble of about 2.5, maybe even 3. But you can't overdose on dechlorinator, so can't go wrong. So let's turn that on, see what we get over here. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Fire! Sweet, we'll let that run. We'll let all the water settle, because of course I had to move all the stones to allow access to the piping and stuff like that, so I could undo it. So yeah, hopefully that will all settle down now. I've released a bit more from the gravel, but that'll all get sucked back down into the filters, and we'll catch that next time when we do another cycle. It took us quite a long time to do. I didn't think it was going to take that long, so we might have to do one tank every so often. One most important thing, another job we've got to do today, is that rescue ball python we had come in. So she's doing fine, but we need to get her on proper substrate on one of our vivs. So I'm not sure whether 4 foot's going to be too small. Yeah, she's probably going to want a 4 foot viv. Thing is, there's no hides, there's no nothing that's come with her, and she's a big snake. I'm pretty sure we got one in the back, but the problem is I normally sell the snakes with the hides they've got, so I always have to buy new ones because they settle in a lot easier once they've got a hide that smells like them. So we'll dive in, we'll get a tank clean, I'll pick which one we want to use, and then we'll crack on. Got a question for you all. What the blooming heck is this? Okay, so the person who brought me this royal python said all the gubbins, all the bits and bobs are in the bag, okay? There was the water bowl and the dome top and this. It's a block of concrete that almost looks like one of Laura's crystal pillars. It would have had the point on the top. It's had a chip off there, but I have no earthly idea what the hell it's doing in the reptile tank. So if you know what it is or what it's been used for or anything like that, let me know in the comments, because I am baffled of why this has ever been put in a tank. So let me know. Cleaning a tank and doing that while you're filling up a tank is not a good idea. Flooded it, flooded it, flooded it, flooded it, flooded it, flooded it. It's everywhere. I flooded it again. So it's full anyway. We're working a treat. Absolute treat. They are being lower, so I'm happy about that. We have top Snappy up by accident, and then we got all this to deal with. So I'm going to be cleaning. So I have chose a tank, and I have done all the gubbins and all that stuff. It's ready to go. Just waiting for, got to do the cocoa fibre and all that stuff. So I will do that at some point. Well, I've got to clean that first before it gets damaged. Okay, we still got a bit of a wet floor, but I got about 75% of it done. So I still got a bit of a puddle, but we're okay. But I have built the tank. So, budunk. There we go. So let's catch ourselves a snake. We'll open it up there. So we get ourselves a snake. Hopefully, she's not nasty now she's warmed up. Hey. There she is. You nice? Oh, okay. So here she is. Let me turn you around. There we go. Nice normal phase royal. I've checked her out yesterday, so as you saw I got the iCap offer and stuff like that. She does have a tiny little bits of stuck shell, but it's only like one scale here and one scale there, so I'm not too concerned about that. Let's put her in a new tank. Hey, there you go. What do you think of that? That's a bit more your style. Yep, so we've got cocoa, we've got hides everywhere, water bowl in the middle, so it's going to be a lot more better for her. And it, darling, oh, the only thing we need to do is check where the probe is. Where's the probe? Where did I put the probe? Where's the probe? Don't you bite me, be nice. See, I don't know her temperament really, because they brought her when she was cold. So that's whoever buy a snake and they bring it to you cold to have a look at, that's usually a sign that it's nasty when it's warmed up. So always take it with a pinch of salt, because there's a good... If she gets warmed up and she's actually got energy, she can be nasty. So then, with a cold snake, it's going to have no energy. It's not going to want to do anything. It's not going to want to be aggressive or anything, because it's just got no energy because it's cold. But as soon as they eat up, they can be nasty. So I always double check. As soon as we give them that first warm, they're going to be okay and they're not going to be nasty. Look at that now, they're sulking a little bit, but it's working a treat now. Everything's pumping out low. I'm going to have to do the rest another day. I've literally got most of it up now. It's still a little bit damp, but I got most of it up. Spread it around a little bit to help it dry out. But we've had some rescue animals come in. Bunch of tarantulas, a bit rare. We don't really get many rescue tarantulas. We've had an adult curly hair, a red rump, Mexican red rump, a curly hair baby, and a tiger rump. So I don't think we're going to get much of a look at them. They're all hidden away. This is what the bloke brought me. Oh, here we go. Brought them in. So we're going to sort them all out tomorrow once they've settled down and stuff like that. So I'll leave them like they are for now, and we'll get them set up tomorrow. So that's another video for us to do. So please, but that's all the time I've got. We've spent all the day cleaning, I'm afraid. So please, like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell for me. If you're watching a video, it should be on there. If you want to subscribe to the channel, it's up there. If you want to watch a playlist, it's up there. Apart from that, I'll see you in the future. Bye.